standards and how it is actually a hidden way that we keep on procrastinating, not just on our goals, not just on our to-dos, but on our life as well. The life that we could have lived, the goals that we could have had, the money that we could have earned, the fitness and health that we could have had. How we are actually procrastinating on it in the name of having an all or nothing mindset, in the name of perfectionism, in the name of having standards. So this is the second part of the video. First video I did where I go into the details of the root cause of it, which is ego, and how in different manners you may not even be aware, but it actually ends up harming them, and it's actually causing you to have this all or nothing mindset and keep on becoming inconsistent always. So if you have not watched that video, I would recommend you guys watch that video first. It is on my Insta and here on YouTube as well. But if you're like, okay, I know the root cause and I maybe know the details, I would highly recommend still go ahead and look at it, because it's gonna give you a lot of perspective to solve this problem the best way possible. Today we are gonna go into the details of it. So in the last session, just to summarize in 2 lines, we discussed that all or nothing mindset is just standards and perfectionist mindset, which is disguised as that you want to do it well, and it is made by your brain to protect you, but actually instead of protecting you, it helps you, or it stops you from making progress at all and not achieve anything. So whatever it is that you want to do in life, okay, we cannot expect ourselves to be perfect at it in the first go itself. But that's what our mind actually wants, right? That we should always be perfect, we should always be good. But that doesn't happen. You don't have to be perfect to start, but you definitely have to start to be perfect. बट जब तक हमें लगता है परफेक्ट कंडीशंस नहीं आएंगी, परफेक्ट मैं फील नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं लगता अब मैं जाके बेटर कर पाऊँगी या कर पाऊँगा, तब तक आप जाके नहीं करते हो चीज़ों को, एंड यू कीप ऑन बिकमिंग इनकन्सिस्टेंट, यू कीप ऑन stopping yourself to go ahead and actually work on the thing at hand. So in the last session we discussed how ego sabotages your progress. Ego actually leads to perfectionism, where your ego says मेरा तो ये level है जी, this is my level, if unless I am performing it at this level, this energy, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so first ego leads you to perfectionist mindset, which then leads to second all or nothing thinking. So if I can't do it perfectly or fully now, I'm not gonna do it at all. Third, it gives you that fear of looking stupid. And fourth, over identifies with past success. In the past I have been this, so unless I am given this level of work, I'm not gonna do it. But you have to understand, having that mindset of starting from the scratch was what brought you here. So if you're not able to go back to that mindset which helped you, then you are sabotaging your own growth. You are actually sabotaging your own success, and we cannot do that. So let's get into what all does so yesterday I told you, right, in the previous video I told you in what ways does ego stops you, like how does it present itself, क्या different तरीकों से, different forms से, what are the different forms that ego presents itself in your life and in your behavior. Today I'm gonna first tell you what all is ego going to stop you from. First, it is going to stop you from learning new skills. You have to understand AI is here. If you came to me 2 years ago, I work as a career strategist, okay? If you came to me 2 years ago and asked me, Deepa, what are the specific skills, exact skills that I need to succeed in this career 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line, I would have told you that. But today that answer is so hard to give because the world is changing so fast. We think about something and there's an AI already doing it. Okay, so in that environment, one of the biggest skills that anybody that you can have is a beginner mindset, a constant learning mindset, a constant improvement mindset. If you do not have that, then you will find it hard to learn new things, to adapt to the forever changing environment and to stay relevant. तो आप ना अडेप्ट कर पाओगे ना इवॉल्व कर पाओगे, एंड यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू बी रेलिवेंट एज वेल. So ego will not let you have that beginner mindset, because your ego, as soon as you achieve something, it will get into your head and be like, I have this level, I do not go below this level. And what it will stop you from doing is, it will stop you from thinking from that beginner mindset. It will stop you from learning different perspectives, different skills, different tools, which may be helpful to you as a manager even. But if you don't know that, how are you going to guide your team members on it? But ego, if it gets into your head, it's going to stop you from learning new skills and staying relevant in the corporate job market. Second, ego will stop you from receiving honest feedback. I think feedback is one of the biggest and the most beautiful tools ever if you want to grow in your life. ठीक है, what we do is, when we are working in a corporate or in business, we are serving value, we are doing it for others are gonna come to us, take our service or take our products and then give us money. Okay, so we better make sure that that service that we are giving in corporate when we are working, or the business product that we are giving, it is as per the customer's requirement. In when you are an employee, your customer is actually your company, because they are the one judging you, they are the one giving you money. Okay, so if you do not focus on the customer, the person who is giving you money, and if you keep on focusing on yourself, that I am the one who's always right, I can never be wrong, you will face the same fate as one of these biggest companies like Nokia or Kodak had. They did not actually look what the customer wanted. They were too much in their head, too much in their ego, that we know what you want, I know my level, I'm gonna provide you my level only. And when the world changed, your customers' needs changed, you never took that feedback, and they went ahead and destroyed themselves. They're nowhere today compared to what they were. Okay, so ego is going to stop you from receiving feedback. Why? Because you'll always be like, I know what I'm doing, I know what my level is, I don't need to listen to anyone. And even if you listen, you will not listen it from the perspective of actually working on it. But I think feedback is the most beautiful tools ever. I'll tell you how. You can never actually overanalyze or think what the other person will need. You have an MVP first, which is minimum viable product first. You go with it to the market, you make people test it out, and then you decide if it is good or not. So you yourself cannot decide it. Okay, I and my friends were about to start doing workshops. I went ahead and did the workshops like 5 times, but my friend did not do it even twice. And I asked her, I have done 5 workshops, what are you doing, why are you not doing your workshops? And she was like, I will do it when I'm not knowing, I can't make it perfect right now, and I'm not feeling very confident about it. First I'll make it perfect, first I'll think what topics are the best ones. I'm just staying back and thinking about it. What I did was, I took whatever topics I thought were okay, I took it to the attendees. In the first workshop, I got to know some feedback, I changed it. In the second workshop, I got to know some feedback, I changed it. By the 5th workshop, the workshop became so solid that it provided value. My workshops are rated 5-star by almost everyone, and it has benefited so many people. I wouldn't have been able to get to that workshop format unless I applied the feedback that was given to me. At one moment, you can either act from your ego and behave as if you're hurt from it. You can either take it personally and think less of yourself. That's what ego is going to tell you. It's going to do 2 things. First, it's going to make you take everything personally, and because of that, what you'll do is, you will not take the feedback, you will be hurt because of it. Second, it will also help you or it will also make you over defensive. From the next time onward, your ego will say, instead of your thinking from your logical mind, your ego will say, I know what I am, and this person thinks that I'm not up to that quality, I'm gonna prove it, I'm gonna be at that quality, I'm gonna be over defensive about it, I'm gonna go and defend myself everywhere. So ego also stops you from receiving honest feedback. Feedback and criticism is the gold anybody can give you. I am telling you, whatever it is that you want to work on, if you can get criticism, if you can get constructive feedback, that's a gold mine. That's the person in front of you literally telling you how you can impress them, how you can actually build something so valuable that they will be dying for. Give your service so valuable that they will be wanting to promote you, they will be wanting to keep you here in this company. So ego stops you from receiving feedback, and if you get rid of it, that's what you're gonna do. Your service, your own value as a person is gonna improve, as an employee, as a business owner is gonna improve. Third, ego stops you from admitting when you're wrong, because ego would always be like, I have this level, I cannot be wrong, I am the right person. That's just our ego. We have to understand we don't live in this world, we live in the perception we have about this world. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong, sometimes situations are wrong. So if you want to serve someone, you have to think from their perspective and their needs as well. But you're thinking from your perspective. So from your perspective, every single thing will seem right. So you have to understand ego stops you from actually stepping into the shoes of other person and seeing what is wrong with the situation. It will always want you to say, I am always right. But if it ever comes to your mind that I am always right, please remember, please realize that that's ego at work. Things can change, situations can change, and requirements can change. So we never know if we are 100% right or wrong. That's what ego stops you from doing. Ego stops you from taking small, imperfect actions, but that is what leads to consistency. That is what leads to actual progress. It's not the person who is the most skilled. You must have seen in your life, right? People who are way less intelligent than you, people who are way less skilled than you are earning better money than you, or doing better in life than you. Why? Because it's not skill or knowledge level that makes anybody successful or valuable. It's actually the consistency that they have, the consistency of showing up even with imperfect small actions. That's what matters. It's the person who shows up even at the last day. That's who matters, not the one who actually goes ahead and does so many things. So it's not the person with the most intelligence, it's the person with the consistency that goes ahead and does something in life. So ego stops you from ego stops you from staying consistent as well. It stops you from taking small imperfect actions, because it'll always be in your head and it'll be like, either I'll do it perfectly or I will not do it at all. But if that's the way that you go about things, then it's going to hurt you, and you have to be aware of your ego. I'll give you some examples, okay? Steve Jobs, he literally created Apple, but the ego got so much into his head that he was ousted from the company. He was like, nobody can go against me, I am always right. And because of that, he actually, disappointed a lot of people in the company, and he was ousted from his own company. He realized that, he went throughout the world, he even came to India, he did that inner work on himself, and he realized that it's the ego that's doing that. And once he worked on that ego, he created Pixar, which is, the first company with 3D movies. Who can think that you can have movies without actors? But working on his ego, he went ahead and did that, and was again invited to Apple as well. So even someone like Steve Jobs, who created one of the most valuable companies in the world, is not, devoid of ego, has not escaped from ego. But once he did, he was able to do so much better. So learn from that, okay? I gave you my example as well yesterday. At the start of my business, I used to think, I can't go to these other people, my classmates or people on LinkedIn, saying, what are you doing? You're a noob. I was so scared of it, because I had a certain level in my corporate job. I was working in one of the top companies. I am a human too. But as soon as I said to myself, it's okay, whatever my level was in the past, it's past, I am ready to start from zero. Once I started doing that, I made so much progress on my business. I've given people so many results, and I'm earning well as well. All of that happened because I fought my ego. Okay? So ego तो इतने सारे problems तो हैं, but what is the antidote to this ego? The biggest antidote I will tell you is humility. staying humble. ठीक है, seeing the truth for what it is, not what you want it to be. There is a difference. Ego is, I want to see something as like what I want it to be. Truth is, I see things as they are. I am not biased. So humility is equal to truth. If you want to get rid of your ego, if you want to get rid of your perfectionist all or nothing mindset, you will have to have that humility that I can see things for what they are. I know I'm not good enough right now. I need to take small actions to improve on it. I'm gonna go ahead and take those small actions. Okay, so ego is gonna help you do that. Humility is gonna help you do that. I'm really sorry. What am I saying? Okay, so if you want to fight the ego, one of the biggest antidote and tools that you can develop in yourself is by staying humble. It allows you to, by staying humble, you can see things for what they are, not what you and your ego wants them to be. And when you see things for what they are, aligned from other people's perspectives, then you actually get to see where all is this ego hurting me and stopping my progress from. Okay, another thing, humility can stop you from making progress. Oh, sorry, I'm just sorry, I was actually disturbed. So ego will stop you from starting zero, but once you have that humility, once you have that humble attitude that I can start from zero, I am humble enough to start from zero, you will be able to make so much progress in different areas of your life. Because all or nothing mindset आता ही वहीं से, या तो मैं perfectly करूँगा या करूँगा ही नहीं. But if you are humble enough to say, I am ready to do it imperfectly, I am ready to do it ugly, I am ready to be misjudged, I am ready to start from zero. If you build that in yourself, if you build that humbleness and humility in yourself, then your ego will not be there, and all of your issues, inconsistency, perfectionism, everything get out of the window. Now, ego also actually makes you anxious and gives you further stress because of the self pressure that you have put on yourself to perform all the time. But building humility, what it helps you do is remove that stress, remove that anxiousness. You will no longer be in a pressure to be impressive. In fact, you will be replacing it with the freedom to grow. You will have the freedom once you develop that humbleness that I can start from zero as much as I want. I can begin as much as I can. I allow myself to be a noob in certain things. Once you do that, it will give you the freedom to grow and explore in life. And that will give you so many experiences to become a valuable person and grow your career and grow in your life as well. Okay? So last, there's one quote I want to share with you. Okay, it's a very good one. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. This is the biggest fallout of knowledge. The more we know, the more we think we know, and the more we stop learning, and the lesser we learn. So don't let the ego get into your head that I know everything, I am an expert. Always be open to and humble enough to look at the situation for what it is. Look for new learnings from the same situation itself. Okay? Now, how do you go ahead and bring humility into yourself? Make it a habit. Okay? Make progress a habit. अपने आप को बोलना है, even if I'm making 5% or 2% progress in life, that is still progress. Okay? So make progress a habit, not perfectionism. Right now, your ego and your perfectionism is your habit. You will have to change that. Make progress, however imperfect, however small, but make it a habit of your life, not perfectionism. So let go of the need to do it perfectly and stay humble enough to do it imperfectly, ugly, or small as well. Start small, start ugly, but start. That is all that matters. You do not have to be perfect to start, but you definitely have to start to be perfect. Okay, and you have to remember whatever goals you have that you want to succeed in, whether it's financially, whether it's career wise, succeeding in those goals is going to be the accumulation of all of the learning that you do by being humble. ठीक है, कुछ भी चीज़ लाइफ में अचीव की है, you will remember that it came from some learnings, and those learnings can only come to you once you're humble enough to receive that and humble enough to work on those. ठीक है, so remember this. आई वॉन्ट यू टू यूज़ सर्टेन प्रॉम्प्ट्स. अगर आप अपने आप से इस चीज़ पे वर्क करना चाहते हो, आई विल गिव यू सर्टेन प्रॉम्प्ट्स, सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस दैट यू कैन आस्क योर सेल्फ, how ego is actually impacting you and how you can ensure that it does not. So the first question I will give you is, am I avoiding something because I might not look good doing it? It will give you all the areas where ego is stopping you from making progress. I'll give you that prompt again. Am I avoiding something because I might not look good doing it? That's one. Second thing I want you to ask yourself is, do I tie my self-worth to outcomes or appearances? Do I tie my self-worth to outcomes or results or progress that I make? Or do I tie it with how I look doing it or how other people perceive me? If the answer is latter, the ego is at work and it's stopping you from making progress in life. ठीक है. Third one is, do I get defensive when challenged? Do I get defensive when I receive feedback? Okay. Another one is, do I fear being seen as a beginner? Big one. Do I fear being seen as a noob, as a beginner? If yes is the answer, that then you need to build that humility. It's gonna take you places. Last one is, do I resist feedback or only take it from people who have authority from me? You should be humble enough to take feedback from anyone, people who are even below you. Now, they may not have as much knowledge as you, but maybe they are facing certain problems. So understand it from that perspective. So ask yourself, do I resist feedback or only take it from authority figures? Okay. And the last couple of prompts that I want to give you is to, just top it all off, is, where in my life is my ego making me stall? कहाँ कहाँ मेरी ज़िंदगी पे मेरी ईगो मेरी प्रोग्रेस को रोक रही है? वेयर इन माई लाइफ इज़ माई ईगो मेकिंग मी स्टॉल? कहाँ पे मेरी ईगो मुझे ही फ्रीज करवा रही है? इट्स नॉट लेटिंग मी टेक एक्शंस. वेयर इज़ माई ईगो मेकिंग मी स्टक इन लाइफ? ओके. सेकेंड, what would I try if I didn't care about how I looked? What will I do if I had no fear of being misjudged or seeing some other way? What will I do if I didn't care about how I looked or how other people thought about me? And last one is, what's one small imperfect action I can take today? So if I have to give you one single question that you can make sure that you're not getting into that all or nothing and perfectionist mindset, ask yourself, what small imperfect action can I take that I'm avoiding? And make sure that you're going ahead and taking that action. Yes. So that was the live for today, and let me know what all it helped you, what all it clarified in your mind, what realization did you got, what was your learning from today's session, what was the biggest thing that hit you from this session, or you felt like, yeah, this was really good. I would love to hear that from you. If you have any questions, or if you have any feedback or things that you want to discuss with me, I'll be attaching this live, so you can put the questions in the comments, and I would love to come and see your comments as to how you felt about this one, or if you have any questions or anything. And the last time I checked, a lot of you watch but do not subscribe or follow. I will be coming up with so much value that you don't want to miss out on. So make sure that you're following and subscribing as well. That was the session for today, and I'm happy to come back and give a lot more and do a lot more of these. Looking forward to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.